Unsolicited Steph. You might remember me from videos such as I went camping for a weekend because I'm too stingy to forfeit a $30 booking fee, and I made a dress from a bedsheet because I'm a massive tight ass. Today, I'm bringing you a combination of my thriftiness and my sewing skills, because you gotta be kidding me if I'm gonna spend $255 on a top I could make with the leftovers of my bedsheet dress. A bedsheet that I spent $20 on at Vinnie's, and I still have plenty of leftover fabric. As always, it's gonna be a wild ride. You know what to do. Strap yourselves in, and let's get started.
Alright, it's me. I've been promising to make a couple of videos of some sewing tutorials for quite a while now, and this is going to be one of them. Yeah, this top, as some people would say, it's been living rent-free in my head, but this top is like taken out a goddamn mortgage and it is just like living in there. And it is an idea that I had when I was advertised very effectively, mind you. Instagram showed me this photo and I was like, you know what, that's a really cute top. And then I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna spend $250 on that top when I could make it myself.
Hello, it's Editing Steph. The first thing I did was ramble at the camera for a while because I'm still trying to figure out just how to be myself when recording these YouTube videos. I started with a sketch and I did some bust measurements since this top is basically just a ruche thing around the boobage with some straps. And then I took a rough length measurement. I doubled the measurement around the bust to account for the gathering. I think it was 35 inches, including seam allowance, that I doubled to 70 inches. I guesstimated how long it needed to be and siphoned off a big rectangle that was about 20 inches by 70 inches. Don't ask me why I use inches when I'm sewing, but hey, I'll tell you anyway. It's just the way I learned from my mum. Thanks, Mum. I love you. Also, I have to apologize for the lighting in this video. I recorded this mostly at night since I was procrastinating uni work. The next step was to kind of guess the shape of the top edge and then translate that into the bust line shape you can see on the original top. I used chalk to mark this out and I measured it against my body as I went. I shifted to the floor because I realized that it was hard to see the white fabric on the white table. Sorry about that. After cutting it out once, I returned and discovered I needed more space under the arms, so I cut it out again. I used my tape measure to check the sort of shape guesstimate length that I'd done allowed for the bust shape, and then just checked it against my body. I took another couple of inches off the height of the top, and then I took it back to the table to transfer the stitching lines from my original sketch. I used my sewing gauge to mark out a height, I think it was 2 inches, and then I just joined the dots with my chalk. To transfer the markings to the other side of the top, I pinned along the line that I'd drawn, flipped it over, and then joined the dots of the pins. I thought that was a pretty good idea. Next, I cut out a lining piece that was the shape of the curved boobage area, which I was going to use to make 2 channels to thread something through and then gather it all together. I finished the top edge with a narrow hem, which I made by folding over and pressing, and folding over again, and then top stitching. I finished off the raw edge of the lining piece with a zigzag stitch and then laid everything out and marked out the stitching lines that I had originally drawn on the main piece, and I made sure I put them onto the lining piece. Ideally, I would have checked the construction of this on the actual top, but I was too intimidated to go into the shop. I wanted to share a little tip when you're sewing and you need to turn a corner, and that is to set your needle to land in the down position rather than the up position. On my machine, it's a little button on the front that has an arrow for up and down. It just makes turning the corner much easier without having to use the hand wheel to lift the foot before turning the fabric. I didn't have any cord yet, so I just sewed the top line and the bottom line of stitching, and then I went to Spotlight and got some cord. My cord was about 1/4 inch, and so I marked out a channel that was going to be about 1/2 inch to account for the ruching. The cord unravels really easily, so I taped over one end and stitched it before I threaded it through the channel with a safety pin. The cord is basically like some sort of curtain rope or something, and I almost didn't buy enough. I think I got 4 meters, but I really should have gone for 4.5. You live, you learn, but always just buy a little more. It took forever to get this stuff through the channels, and then I just shimmied it all along and evened it all out. When I was first marking out this top, I marked where I thought the side seams would be a few inches in from the back, and then I just made sure that when I gathered everything that those were kind of in the same spot. I measured the straps very loosely, and no, I didn't measure them before I stitched them, and I had to redo them because I'm a dill. Once everything was in the right place, I stitched the back cords so that they weren't going to move and so that they wasn't going to become more or less gathered. I knotted the ends and I just cinched them a little bit to stop them from unraveling. And here we have it, the final product. Considering how thick and bulky this cotton is, I reckon this top turned out pretty well, and just in time for winter to roll around here in Australia. I might make another version next summer and change up the methodology a little bit. But as a lifetime platinum member of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee, I am not complaining about the assistance the extra bulk is giving me in the front. All in all, I think this top is a win and maybe needs a fun skirt or pants to go along with it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, is there a garment you want me to try and copy? Let me know. I have been me, you have been you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.